Good evening. We're calling to order the May 2nd, 2022 Economic Development Subcommittee meeting. Can we all rise to salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the May 2nd, 2022 Economic Development Subcommittee meeting. Tonight we'll have CFO Rich Viscay speak on behalf of the Parking Benefits District, Mass General Law 4022A and a half.
Good evening, and thank you for having me up here. A while back, we had distributed a PowerPoint presentation on the city potentially adopting Chapter 40, Section 22A and a half, which would allow us to create a parking benefits district. Parking benefits district allows us to be a little more flexible in the way we use our parking meter revenues throughout the city. It is proposed that this parking benefit district would use revenues collected from our our Shirley Ave parking lot, our Central Ave parking lot, and all of the business permits that we have been distributing to put into a separate fund and create a parking benefit district. Parking benefit district essentially gives us flexibility to use those meter revenues in a more expansive way than currently we use them now, which is basically just to pay our parking meter control offices and our equipment and maintenance of the parking meters. So we're hoping that some of the additional revenues that we're generating from the multi-space meters in the Central Ave lot, as well as the business district parking program that we've implemented to expand the ways we use the funds. For example, public space improvements. We can use the funds to buy public benches, public barrels. We can do some tree maintenance. We can do some tree planting. We can do some streetscape improvements. We can also do pedestrian safety, snow removal, security cameras. We can have some green initiatives such as charging stations in our lots or on our meters. We can also do some maintenance for fire hydrant markings and equipment, sanitation, and basically walk paths, biking paths, anything that has to do with transportation improvement. So just gives us an ability to use these dollars in a more robust manner. You know, we do want to let the people know that we do collect these monies and we want to put them to use. We're not using it to, pay the, balance the tax rate or do anything else. These are things that we think that meter money would be great to use. We're also proposing as part of this that we would create a parking advisory committee that would oversee the use of these funds. We had suggested a potential committee made up of a mayor, the mayor or his designee, 2 city councilors, a member of the traffic commission, the CFO or his designee, the chief of planning or her designee, the parking director, and 2 business owners. So basically, I'm here to help promote the idea of parking benefit districts. We do have a parking director, our assistant parking director, and our parking ombudsman, Jim Rose, here to also speak on it if anyone has any questions. But I'm certainly happy to answer any questions about this initiative we're trying to implement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Viscay. Councilors? Councilor Cogliandro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Viscay, thank you for the presentation. You did answer one of my questions. I just wanted to dive a little further into it. So I have Mass Law 4022A and a half here. It says managed by a body. You just mentioned the Parking Advisory Committee. Will those be, that'll be comprised of the positions you just said, city council, the mayor, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some samples from other communities, so we just try to come up with a good mix of people so you have input from councilors,
sure,
the executive office, some of the businessmen, and some of the people involved with parking day to day, just so we can put our heads together and put this money to good use.
Okay. Also, are there any plans for any more parking meters in the city that you know of at this point in time?
I mean, I believe there are some areas that allow parking meters. At this time, we don't plan on implementing them. There were meters around City Hall at one point that have been changed to 2-hour parking via signs, but there's certainly no proposal that would give new meters in the city where they're not already authorized. This is, again, even the Central Ave meters were authorized previously, and we just implemented them more to try to get that lot cleaned up and organized more so than anything else. But now we want to try to use some of this additional money to do some more enhancements.
Awesome. And just one more question. So Shirley Ave, the Shirley Ave lot and the Central Ave lot are the two that we're going to be focusing on right now?
Yeah, and we implemented a business parking permit, which I believe we're up to close to 100 business permits. So, you know, we have the ability to actually expand it with additional revenues that come in, but we figure we'd start small. We start with these new revenues and earmark them for more enhancements to our public facilities as opposed to just dumping them in the general meter account. So, and again, some of the, you know, whether it's, you know, more charging stations, more safety, lights, cameras, it'd be the committee's, you know, decision on where the money should go and hopefully most effective.
Okay, that was, so as part of that question, so this is just for those areas, so we're assuming it's Broadway for Central Ave and Shirley Ave. Is it going to be from the whole street? You know, I don't want another situation with like the new double lamps. We don't have them down far end of Broadway and, you know, the beginning of it, so I don't know which it's going to benefit.
I mean, the district that I'm envisioning would be where there are meters, so it's not as if the money just from the lots have to go to the lots. It would go anywhere where there is parking meters, which I think would be Shirley Ave and some of the offset streets over there. We have some meters that offshoot off of Broadway as well, but I think typically you'll see the, you know, the parking lots and the two main drags would be the most of the focus areas.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Councilor Novoselsky?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Richard, I think this is a great idea, especially where it concentrates in my ward too, and also with Joey McKenna. And what ward is the central lot in? Do you know? Whose ward is that?
I'm not a master at every.
That's part of one also.
I think
okay.
Joanne McKenna typically talks of it, so I'm guessing
so
it's
I
her
would guess
award.
it's hers, okay.
And I think she's on this committee as well. I don't know if she.
Well, not yet. It says two councils. They didn't.
No, I think
designate-
she's in this committee
that
that
committee
way.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. But now, does this also include the fines of tickets go into this account also?
No, this is just from the parking meter
Just from the
revenue
meter
and the
revenue.
permit revenue, yes.
Why can't we do the meter, that money too?
That's not what the law states, so I'm just following what the law states. So unless you want to go to the state and try to change the law, but no.
We'll also have to establish a separate account.
Yeah, by
A
adopting
revolving-
the
a
law,
revolving
we would
account?
then be able to establish that separate account. So if the council adopts the law, that will establish the account, and then we can have a follow-up meeting about creating a committee
Okay.
and having some meetings and talk about some of the revenues. Because
Yeah.
right now, all the revenues go into one pot, so we want
Right.
the authority to start to separate those.
That's what I was going to ask. It goes into general fund.
That's not general fund, it's a special revenue account for parking meter receipts.
Oh, okay.
So this would just create a second special revenue account for parking benefits
Yeah.
district.
Well, I think the committee is great choice, you know, a good variation of folks from within the city, and, you know, hopefully, Council McKenna and I, we're the two primary areas of parking lots that, you know, we'll be getting a lot of the funds. But I know Ward 3 will be getting some, and Ward 4 will be getting some, based on the meter areas that are
Yeah,
involved.
and the committee is totally a recommendation.
Yeah,
There's
no,
there's
I-
nothing etched in stone that it can't be 3 councilors or whatever, but it was just a
Yeah,
good distribution of.
I think it's a good choice and great idea, and, you know, because there are a lot of things within that list that you mentioned that we've been looking for a long time, specifically more barrels, more cameras, you know, because especially for various reasons.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing to do, so I'll be in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Would anyone else like to speak on this from the floor? Please state your name and address for the record.
Zach Babo, Director of Parking, City of Revere, 281 Broadway. I can't say too much. Rich really covered a lot of the area, but some of the things is this is designed to improve the aesthetics of some of our main drags, Broadway and Shirley Ave, which I think will be a huge benefit, it's huge uplifting. Like you said, more barrels out there, more streetscape, more lighting. It also benefits the amenities related to our green energy and alternative transportation, what the city has done a great job, you know, with Julie Demaro really working hard in that area, bringing along the bikes in the summertime, bus lanes, things like that, help paint them, keep them clean, maintain a lot of it. I think separating these funds will be a huge benefit to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. There's a motion on the floor from the committee to offer a name and address for the record.
Jim Rose, Parking Liaison, 300 Broadway, Revere. I just wanted to come up and voice my support for the program. I think it's a great program. It's something that we have been looking at for the last couple of years. We talked about it a lot of times. The pandemic kind of put a hold on it. But I don't want to go and be redundant and keep on repeating what Zach and Rich said. But it's a great program. It's a great program. That's it. I want to thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Rose, and I agree. This is a great idea. It's a great program. I'm in favor from implementing this. We have a motion on the floor from the committee to offer a favorable recommendation to the City Council to adopt a parking benefits district. On the motion, all in favor, all opposed? So ordered. No further business, and that concludes our Subcommittee of Economic Development. Thank you.